Hi and welcome to another video of Node.js programming, and in this video we'll be going to utilize Fortnite API using Node.js. The website that we are going to use for hitting our API endpoints is fortnite-api.com. So let's get started. In this video training we are going to utilize different APIs provided by a website called fortnite-api.com. We will use some of the API endpoints provided by this service. For example, BR map. This endpoint returns data and images of the BR map and POIS. The second API which we'll be going to use is news. It returns data of the current battle royale, save the world and creative news. So let's get our hands dirty. The requirements for Node.js application are: first is to install Node.js, the second one is to install Express npm module, the third one is Node fetch module. So let's go to the console and install these. Okay, I'm on the console now, and let me go into check. So here we can go to personal projects, and here I can create a folder called Node. Okay, we have the folder Node. Now we can create a folder called Fortnite, and let's set the permissions. Okay, so let's go into Fortnite, and the first thing we are going to do is to install Node.js. So sudo apt-get install Node.js. Okay, we are installing Node.js now on a Ubuntu machine, so it won't take long. And we are done with installing Node.js. Now we want to install Node project manager initialization file, and to initialize it you need to type in npm init, and we need to install that as well. So sudo apt install npm. Oh, sorry. Okay, we are done installing npm. Now I can do npm init and ask us some questions: package name, version, description, entry point. We are going to change it to server.js, and that's it. And we have a file called package.json. Now let's install Node Express module, that is the Node package manager module for creating the web server in Node.js. Afterwards install Node fetch module which we will be using for hitting the endpoints and getting the JSON response from the Fortnite website. Okay, now let's move on to creating our project. So we will be using Sublime and file called server.js. So here we are, and the first thing we are going to do is we are going to create a variable express, and it requires express npm module which we have already installed. The second step we are going to do is we are going to create app object of by creating the express variable. Then we have the port which we will keeping at 3000. Afterwards we have app dot listen method which receives a port number and an anonymous function. In this anonymous function we will just type into the console log that server is running at port, and here we can mention the port which is app port, and that's it. Now the next step is that we are going to create some routes. In this video we will be using two APIs, so let's get started with the first one. Okay, the first API we are going to use is the brmap API. So we are going to say app.get / brmap, and then we have a function, anonymous function that receives request and response objects, and here we are going to define a constant called fetch, and it requires node fetch module, and afterwards we are going to use this fetch https://Fortnite API.com/v1/map. This is the endpoint that I got from their website, which I will show you in a while, so don't worry about that. And then we have the then method, and it receives a response in JSON from the server. After it has received the response, we are going to parse it and show it in HTML. So for that we need to define a object called JSON, and here we are going to show brmap, and we are going to pass in JSON and response object. So this is done for the endpoint brmap. The second endpoint I'm going to use is the news one. So just copy paste that and change it to news, and this one is Fortnite API.com v2 and news. This is also taken from their website, so I'll show you that in a while, don't worry about these things. Now let's move on to step 3. Here we are going to define the show brmap function, which we have called here, right here. So let's define that function show brmap, and it receives data as JSON and a response object. Here we are going to create a variable called HTML body, and we are going to use the tilde sign because it doesn't require breaking of single quote or double quotes anyways. So HTML, we have HTML and we have body. Then we have the h2 tag which says brmap data Fortnite. Close the h2 tag, and then we have the HTML body again. I can continue on with this, we don't need to break it. So the first one is blank image, and here we are going to use the image tag, image source, which will come inside dollar, and it says data dot images dot blank. And let's close the image tag. Let's add a break, line break in HTML, and then we have the POIS image, and I'm just going to copy these two lines here and paste them here, and it's POIS. Okay, and then have a break, line break, and that's all for this point here. And now I'm going to create a loop, for loop, and it will record in data.pois. And what we are going to do is we are going to concat to HTML body object. So plus equals tilde sign, and here we are going to add the breakpoint, and a horizontal rule, that is a simple line in HTML. Then we are going to print the data. So the first thing we are going to print is ID, and that is record.id. So let's close the paragraph tag, just copy this and paste it to twice, and change ID to name, and here is record.name, and the third parameter we are going to print is location. So we have record.location.x. So we have the three parameters for the 3D location within the game of that POIS. So x, y, z, and we are done with this for loop. So let's close it here, and let's go to the for loop, and I'm going to indent it a bit so it's more, the visibility is more. So here is the function, here is the for loop, and at the end of for loop I'm again going to concat HTML body, close the body tag, close the HTML tag, and that's it, and send it to the user, send the HTML tag to the user's browser. So this is all we have to deal with the show BR map function. Now the second function we are going to create is show news function, and that is function here, show news. Okay, so let's copy this function of BR map and paste it here, and let's call this function show news. It receives the data and the response object, and it starts with the same HTML body, but this time it's called Fortnite news, and we don't need these here because it doesn't have that data. So I'm going to start from here, var record in data dot br dot mops. I got this from their API, so I'll show you that in a bit when we complete our coding, so don't worry about that. Okay, in the start we have the break tag, then we have the horizontal rule, then we have, here is the title. So title is record.title. Okay, the second thing we have is the tab title. So tab title, and just remove this, and it's tab title. Okay, then we have the body tag. So let's add the body, or you can say a summary. So we have record.body. The third thing we have here is the image, record.image, and at the end we have the title of the image. So just copy it, and it says title image, and it's title image. We can get rid of the last line because we don't need this in this function, and that's it for show news function. And we are pretty much done with our web server. So let's go on to the console here, and let's see what we have got here the screen. So we have server.js. Okay, I'm going to run server.js. Let's see what happens. Okay, it says server is running at port 3000. So at port 3000 we can hit the server. So I'm going to open localhost colon 3000 slash, our first endpoint is I'm going to add another one for default landing page. So, and we don't need node fetch here, and we don't need anything here as well. So I'm just going to say res.send welcome to Fortnite APIs data app. So we need to restart the server to implement that. So let's restart the server, and if I go here I see welcome to Fortnite APIs data app. The second API we are going to use is PR. This was map. Okay, no problem, just change it and restart the server. So if we go to VR map, we have an error here, and it says import HTTP from HTTP. Okay, the problem is with the package.json. We installed 3.0.0 and it has some issues, stability issues, so I'm changing it to 2.6.1. This will fix our error which was being triggered on the front end. The server.js, what we were going to do is we are going to add a counter in BR map. We are not going to show all the records because there are hundreds of records and it will take forever. So I'm going to say count equal to 1, and within the for loop we are going to count plus plus, and if we are going to say if count is greater than 10, then just leave the loop, so break. Similarly, the same thing we are going to do in the news panel, and here we are going to say var count equals 1, and here we are just going to count plus plus. That's it. And now if we go to our server, okay, we haven't started the server, so let's start it again. And we have our server here, and here's BR map. So we are just going to parse first 10 results of BR map. Okay, there were two issues with our application. One was that we were using 3.0.20, so change it to 2.6.0. This is a stable version, so I'm using it. And the second thing we were doing wrong, we were trying to fetch data.images.blank, which doesn't exist. So what we are going to do here is we are going to say data equals data dot images data dot data. Let's try this if this works. I'm going to save this, go to console and run our program. Let's visit BR map. Okay, it says cannot read property of X. Okay, that's fine. So what we can do here is we are going to say data.pois And let's save the program, run it again, see if this works. It's loading. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's try the upper part first. So I'm going to comment the for loop for now, debugging, and let's run it again. And here we have the BR map data Fortnite. So this is the blank version and this is the POIS version with all the locations that are currently available within the game. So we have something in hands now. So moving forward, let's try this now. Let's print out data.data.pos. I think the location thing is doing there is some issue with location part, so I'm going to omit that, and let's save this. And if count is greater than 10, we're going to break it. Okay, right here. So let's save it and let's run it again, and let's see what happens. Cannot read property POIS of undefined. Okay, no issues. So let's debug that, and it says data.data. Okay, alright, we don't need this here, so we are good to go. Because we have already assigned data to data.data here, so we do not need to do it here recursively. So this should work now. Okay, let's save it and run our server, and let's hit VR map. Okay, cannot read property of X. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it 5 instead of 6. Here we can omit this for now and save the file, and we are going to break the server, run it again, run VR map. So we have the map, blank map here, then we have the field map here, and then we have ID name, which are undefined. That's weird. So let's debug that. What's going on here? Data.pos. So I'm going to console.log and just commit that. Okay, and run the server. So okay, we have ID, name, and location. ID, name, and location. Okay. ID, okay, ID, name, and location further have a subarray. So it should be something like for record in data.pos, and pos further have record.id.name, and here we can say record.location.x. Let's first fix this thing here. Remove record, and this should be record.id. save the file and make it live here. Okay, let's console.log. Let's run the server again, and here we're going to file. Alright, the issue is resolved. The issue was that we were doing this wrong. So basically what we need to do is we need to iterate through the data, and we need to index this variable record in our program. So here we are going to do is uncomment this code here and change this to, just copy this and change it here. So this is ID and this is name and this is location.x, then we have location.y, and at the end we have location.z. So let's save this file and run our program again, and if we go to localhost 3000 beer map, we will get the exact location. So here we have the maps here, and then we have location of 5 different. So Coral Castle is located at this location, and this is the ID of the location. So Coral Castle is where is Coral Castle? Okay, it's here, right here. So basically what we have done is we have called the beer map API that I'll show it to you in shortly. So let's check out the news function, and here we are going to do the same thing. We are going to do, here is data equals data. So let's try this, and this will also applied here. So this will be something like record dot title. Yeah, so just copy this and paste it here and paste it here. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. This is tab title, and this is body, and this is image, and the last one is title image. So that's about it, and now we are going to run and hit the news API. Okay, let's say news. Okay, so we have the news here. So we have the body, image, and title image, but as you can see, the image is not being rendered in the browser. The reason being, we haven't put the image tag here. So just add image tag here and give the source here. Yeah, so this is our image, and then we have the title image here. So the title image goes data.beermores record, okay, dot title image. So let's run it again, and this time we should be able to view the images. Okay, we have the image now. So the news is Unreal Engine's hero, Windwalker, Echo, and Slay. What's Slay? Then on the second thing we have Skyfire, Season End Event, Bombs, Arm, and Plane. So we have the second image. Then we have Weekly Legendary Quests. We have the third one. Then we have Imposters, we have the fourth one with the body and real life city. Then we have the fifth one. We only fetched 5 records, so we have 2 APIs up and running now. One is BR map, which is this API, and the second one is the news API. So we have this data here from Fortnite API. Okay, that's it for the code. So basically you can download this code and git clone it from my GitHub repository. I have shared the URL of the GitHub repository in the YouTube video description. And now I'm going to show you the Fortnite API website where all these APIs are listed. So this is dash.fortnite.api.com. So dash.fortnite-api.com. Here you will find out all the APIs endpoints which you can use in your application, or if you want to integrate Fortnite within your application, mobile application, web application, wherever you want, you can use these APIs. The first one that we use is map, then we use the news API, and you can just copy it, paste. You can go to codebeautify.org JSON viewer, just paste it on the left hand side and click on beautify. Here you will get the exact hierarchy of the JSON object. Here you can see we have data, then we have POIS, and within POIS we have the name, ID and locations of different islands or locations. Similar is with the map. So if I copy map and paste it here and click on beautify, I think it wasn't copied properly, so let's copy it here again. Yeah, so click beautify, you will get the same thing. And for the news, copy, paste it here and click beautify. Here you will get all the data of the news. So that's it for this video, and the code is fine and up and running. Thanks for watching this video. Please do subscribe to my channel. If you liked this video, you can contact me for help or programming advice or suggestions by commenting on this YouTube video or at my email address, that is usman@techweber.com. Thank you very much for watching this video.